Hello everyone, my name's Amanda and today I'm going to be demonstrating how to create the single crochet stitch. We are also going to learn how to create a slip knot, how to hold your hook, how to make a chain, and how to hold your yarn. Let's begin! To practice this stitch, I'm going to be using this Lily Sugar and Cream 100% cotton yarn. For crochet hooks, I'm going to be using this 5mm crochet hook by the brand Clover. The first thing we're going to do is learn to create a slip knot. So to begin, we're going to take this yarn tail in our right hand, or switch hands if you're left-handed. We're going to grab the yarn between our thumb and middle finger, like so. We're going to take this yarn tail and wrap it once around our index finger, and then bring it around a second time. And this little yarn tail here, we're going to just tuck in with our thumb and hold against our middle finger there. To create the slip knot, we're going to pinch this loop on the left here and lift it over that loop on the right. And we're going to switch to the new loop that's on the left. Again, drag it over that loop on the right. And finally, we're going to grab the loop on the left, but this time we're going to pull. And we're going to slide this little knot that we've just created off of our finger. And then we're going to pull, holding onto that little yarn tail with our left hand, and pull the knot closed. I like to give it a little extra tug, but be careful not to pull too tight as it's very easy to break your yarn. Next, after our slip knot, is how to hold our yarn. There's many different ways to hold your yarn. I hold my yarn by placing it underneath my middle finger and over my index and ring finger. I also commonly see a method of wrapping it around your pinky and over your index finger. You just have to try out a few different styles to see what feels most comfortable for you and how to get the right tension. You'll learn how to tension as you get more practice crocheting. Now we're going to look at two different methods of holding your crochet hook. For myself, I hold the crochet hook like a pen or a pencil. But a common method I see is to hold it like a knife. You just have to practice a little bit to see what feels most comfortable for you. Now we're ready to begin crocheting and learn how to create a chain. First, we're going to put our hook into that slip knot that we created. We're going to lightly tug on the loop that we created. You'll see the knot tighten around the hook. Make sure you don't make it too tight. You want a little bit of space on your first loop. Now that we have our hook in our right hand, we're going to take hold of the yarn with our left. I like to flip over and leave a little bit of space. You don't want to be all crunched up trying to work over your finger. We're going to pinch this tail. To create a chain, we're first going to do what is called yarning over. Yarning over is where you bring your crochet hook underneath the yarn, wrap it around, and bring it over the yarn. As you can see, the hook has latched onto that working yarn as you pull through the loop, and there you've just created your first chain. We're going to do that again. We're going to yarn over, pull through that loop, and create another chain. Let's do a few more here. We're going to yarn over and pull that loop through, yarn over, pull that loop through, yarn over, and pull that loop through. We currently have 5 stitches on this chain. We're going to create 7 in total, so we're going to yarn over and pull through. And last one here, yarn over and pull through. When you pull out your hook from your work, also make sure to leave a little bit of an extra loop here so you don't accidentally tug on this working yarn and shrink down that loop. With your hook back in that working loop, we're going to now begin our first row of single crochets. To make a single crochet, we are going to work into the second stitch from our hook. This is our first stitch here, and this is the second stitch. So this is what we're going to be working into. To create a single crochet, you're going to take your hook, push it through that top loop of the second stitch. You're going to take your yarn and yarn over. Then you're going to bring that yarn through that loop. Now you should have 2 little loops on your hook. Next, we're going to yarn over one more time and pull through both of those loops on our hook. You should now have your first single crochet. We're just going to repeat this process a few times to get used to what it feels like to create a single crochet. Into our next stitch here, we're going to again insert our hook, yarn over, pull a loop through. We have our 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over one more time and pull through both of those loops. Next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both loops. The single crochet stitch is very basic and very easy to learn. It is the most commonly used stitch and is used all the time if you're looking to make amigurumi. We now have our 3 single crochets. We're going to create a single crochet in the remaining 3 chains, and then I will show you how to turn your work. So in our 4th stitch here, we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Again, we're going to bring our hook into that loop, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through 2 again. Final stitch of the row here, we're going to push our hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Now you should have 6 single crochets in your first row. To turn your work, you're first going to create a chain, and then, keeping your hook in that loop, we're going to flip our work towards us. You do not want to flip the other way as you begin to twist up your yarn. To begin row 2, we are going to start working into the 2nd stitch from our hook. So we're going to skip that chain we made before we turned our work and put our hook into the 2nd chain, which is the top of the last stitch of our first row. We're then going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. There we have our first stitch of row 2. For our next stitch, we're going to do the same, push our hook through, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Repeat this process across the row until we get to our final stitch. We made it to the final stitch of our row. Again, we're going to just finish off by making sure we get our hook through both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. I suggest you continue on with a few more rows to get your practice. Just make sure every row has 6 single crochets and you chain 1 and turn at the end. I'm going to speed up the video and meet you guys at the end so you can see what it should look like after you've done 5 rows. Alright, here we are at the end of row 5. As you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of single crochets. To make sure you're not accidentally putting in too many stitches in a row, make sure you count across to see if there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. It's very easy for beginners to accidentally create too many stitches or not enough, which is something I did when I first started learning. And that's the single crochet stitch. Let me know in the comments down below if you found this video helpful. Subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new releases, and we'll see you in the next one.